wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant.
Welcome back to another episode of Lone Star College Football. Got my boy Logan with me. Say what's up, Logan.
What's up, man? How's it going?
Man, it is going good. We are, about a week? 2 weeks out? Yeah, we're almost 2 weeks out from the Big 12 championship game. So I figured we'd jump on here and let's just talk a little bit about our preseason expectations of the Big 12 versus what actually happened, because we were nowhere close to being right.
Yeah. Man, I didn't get a single one of these right.
Yeah, I think I got West Virginia right. I picked West Virginia to be 9th in the Big 12, and that's the only one that I think I got right. Oh, no, I got Texas. I picked Texas to be 3rd.
Yeah, you had Texas. Man, I had way too much trust in a lot of players, that's for sure. And a couple of coaching staffs that I don't really want to talk about. But
yeah, we're going to have to do a video on coach rankings too, because we were probably wrong about that. So we'll go ahead and just drop us your top. Just go ahead and run through all of them real quick, 1 through 10.
All right. So what I had was, embarrassingly enough, I had Baylor, Texas, which was close, Oklahoma State, Oklahoma, K-State, West Virginia, TCU. Man, how the turns have tabled on that one.
Yeah.
Iowa State, Tech, and Kansas. Again, how the turns have tabled on that one. It's like I had TCU at 6-6. Come to find out, that's what Baylor's sitting at. So I did great. Fantastic.
Yeah, I had Baylor at 1 as well. I did not expect y'all to fall the way y'all did. I had Oklahoma at 2, Texas at 3, Oklahoma State, Kansas State, TCU, Iowa State, Tech, West Virginia, and Kansas. Well, real quick, what's more impressive to you? Was TCU more impressive to you than Kansas? Not necessarily that they were better, but just like TCU going out and winning or being undefeated in the regular season, is that more impressive than Kansas making a bowl game?
You see, I'm thinking like shock factor, right? So Kansas going 6-6 was really shocking. But then again, they were 3-6 in the conference. But still, that's 3 more wins in the conference that they usually get. TCU, man, that one's also shocking because, I mean, they won every game, right? Except for K-State in the Big 12 championship. That one's tough, dude. I want to say Max Duggan shocked me, but Lance Leipold going into Kansas, I think, takes the cake on that one for me personally. Now, it could go either way, but I'm just going to go ahead and lean towards Kansas being more shocking.
Yeah, I would definitely say Kansas, because if you think about it, if Daniels doesn't get hurt, Kansas goes better than 6-6.
Probably.
Like, they lost to Oklahoma by 10 with their backup. I think if they had their starter, I think they could win that game. Honestly, they might have beat Baylor with their starter. I will say Texas did absolutely kill them.
Yeah,
the game that Daniels came back in. So
Bijan had a crazy game that game, didn't he?
243 yards or something.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he had 209 against Kansas State, and then like 240 something against Kansas. So we can officially own the state. We need to put a campus up in the state of Kansas. We own them. I think we were taking some frustration from last year.
Oh, for sure.
We were definitely taking out a little frustration from
it's because y'all hadn't beat them in however many days Jason says or whatever.
Right. Well, yeah, it's a lot less now. Before we just jump into some of these other teams, I do want to remind y'all, if y'all have made it this far, we really do appreciate y'all. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and reach out to my boy Casey Crutcher over at Rollo Insurance. His number is down below on the scrolling tab. He can find you the perfect insurance for you and your family, whether it's home, auto, life, health, or commercial insurance. He is able to hook you up. He saved my family $40 a month and can probably do the same for y'all. With that being said, just talking about TCU. Well, we'll talk about K State first because they actually won the conference. In my season prediction, I had them losing to Oklahoma, Oklahoma State, Texas, and Baylor. Now they lost to Texas. Now and they finished 9-3. So who did they? Do you have ESPN pulled up?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Who else did they
They
lose
lost
to? I know they
to
lost to Texas. They beat Baylor. They
Tulane
killed Baylor. They
and
lost to
TCU
Tulane
and
and
TCU.
TCU. If you think about it, that loss to Tulane really isn't terrible. Like Tulane finished the season
No,
pretty
Tulane's
well.
really good, but potentially no. Never mind. I was gonna say, did that keep them out of the playoffs? Because they're at number 9 right now. But even then, if they would have beat Tulane, they'd probably still be at 5 or 6.
My prediction for them was kind of spot on. I said most likely 8-4, but possibly 9-3 if they could upset either Texas, Baylor, or OU. And I know
Yep.
they beat Baylor. Did they beat Oklahoma? They did beat Oklahoma.
Yep.
So there you go. I mean, I was
I had them
I
at
was
eight and
pretty
four,
spot on with that.
so I wasn't
Yeah,
terrible.
I guess
But
technically I had them at 8-4, but I knew they'd come away with one of those games.
yeah, I mean, I had them losing to OK State, Texas, and Baylor,
I did.
but
I did too.
and Oklahoma. Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't have them getting any upsets on that, sadly, or upsets at the time. It was upsets.
Right. TCU, I said most likely 7-5, possibly 8-4 if they could upset Texas, Baylor, really most of the Big 12, Texas, Baylor, OU, OK State, or K State, because I had those are the teams out in front of them, and
Yeah,
really at the time I just wasn't expecting TCU to be good. They
nobody was.
new
Nobody
coaching
was.
staff. They lost Zach Evans on offense. They lost O'Shawn Mathis on defense.
Yep.
Like that's their best player on either side of the ball. To be honest with y'all, and this might be a hot take, I don't even care. Quentin Johnston is not that good. Pull up his stats real quick while I go on a rant. Quentin
Okay.
Johnston had a good stat wise season, but really most of his yards, I say most, probably like at least anywhere from a third to half of his yards came in 2 games against Oklahoma State and Kansas State during the regular season because they were losing by double digits, and I think they were just choking it deep. He said, "Screw it, Johnston's down there somewhere," and he
Yeah.
came down with the ball. Does that make him elite that he was able to clutch up? Absolutely, but don't look at a receiver's stats at the end of the year and say, "Wow, he had what 850, 900 yards almost," and
903.
right 903. Don't look at the stats at the end of the year and say he had 903 yards. He's amazing. Okay, well 380 of those yards was in those 2 games in the second half where he just popped off. Is he great?
386. You're really close on these numbers.
Because I looked at him a month and a half ago. I remember that. Yeah, he's is he great? I would hold off on great. Is he good? Yeah. Is he going to go to the league? Oh yeah. And I think he'll probably be productive there. He's got the size for it for sure. But he's not. He didn't do it in the same way that a Marvin Harrison Jr. did it, or
No,
I mean, even Jalen Hyatt, who, yeah, he had a crazy game against Bama, but still, the rest of his games all season long were pretty consistent. So,
I mean,
I,
Jalen
I
Hyatt
ran.
had the same number of touchdowns against Alabama than what he had all year. He only ended
Uh,
up with 5 touchdowns. Like
yeah.
he's
And how many of them came against Oklahoma State and K State in those 2 games?
yards or touchdowns,
Touchdowns. 2.
one
So
apiece.
he's what, one in each?
He scored
That's,
against
that's
Texas, West Virginia, K State, OK State, and Kansas once each.
How do you have 180 yards in one game and what 206 yards in the other game and only score like he's 206 yards? You only got in the end zone once.
Yep, I
Either
guarantee
way,
you, all of these longest receptions were the only time he scored.
yeah,
Like
probably.
his longest against Shaw was 31. He only had 3 catches against Shaw. He had 4 against us. Like
Well, to be fair, and I will also say he did battle an ankle injury, and for a receiver, that's a big
true,
deal. You
true.
got to be able to make your cut. So he did do that, but even in his prime before he got hurt, I mean, before he got hurt, he was at like 700 yards, and at 386 out of 700 yards. Well, that's over half in 2 games. He's not the best receiver in the Big 12. Xavier Hutchinson probably had the best season in the Big 12 as far as a receiver goes.
I can't make faces like that because I mean we Baylor ourselves we locked him up, but
but
The rest,
Noel got
yeah,
crazily.
Noel got us for sure.
Yeah, they
But
got us with them too.
I mean, it's I don't know. I don't know. It's not.
Right.
What in the
Well,
world happened this year, dude?
right, and we'll talk about Texas and Baylor, and then we'll wrap this up. We'll start. Let's start with Baylor. I I feel so stupid now looking at this. I said
Second,
Baylor most likely 10-2. I had Oklahoma State, OU, and Texas both as a toss up, or all three. I mean, as a toss up. Oklahoma State, Oklahoma, Texas, all three toss ups. And I predicted that y'all would win two of those. I thought y'all would beat Oklahoma State and Oklahoma. I predicted that y'all would lose to Texas. A little bit of that is because of my burnt orange glasses, and some of that is because Texas is the best and Baylor sucks. But
it's still wait. That's still the
needless
burnt
to
orange glasses. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
is it now? Is there really burnt orange glasses now after we gave y'all a
Well,
9 point lead and
no,
then
but
beat you
just
by
saying
11?
it
I
like
mean,
that is.
really, I mean, honestly, and when you look at Baylor, it's like BYU. Y'all should have won that game.
Should have
I
been a
would have loved
dub.
to see that in a bowl game, a rematch, and
What
that'd have been
West Virginia should have been a dub. Now we should have been 9-3.
TCU.
Should have been
TCU
a
should have
dub.
been the dub. Y'all should have been
But
10-2. I should have been
Blake,
right.
Blake Shapen wants to throw a pick in the back corner of the end zone.
Yeah,
I,
I mean,
it's something.
it is.
Now
Yeah.
BYU, why is Richard Reese not running the ball?
Did
Why?
y'all even know about Richard Reese being great in week 2?
I
Though, did we
mean,
know?
he led us in rushing against Albany. I mean, it wasn't anything special, but he still led us in rushing.
Yeah.
I mean, he touched the ball, I think, 5 times. It's like 4 or 5 times against BYU. Why are we not at least trying it whenever our offense is sputtering in the whole second half? Why? Why are we not doing that? Just try it.
Yeah. Next year, y'all know. Y'all don't know next year. Texas, I predicted Texas. I said most likely 9-3, possible 10-2, with a definite loss at Bama. I said I was leaning towards a loss against Oklahoma, and I put in on my notes and said not because they are the better team, but just because it's the Red River rivalry.
Yep.
I had toss-up games being Oklahoma State and Baylor. I predicted us to win both of those, and so it was Bama, Oklahoma. Oh, I guess I said possible 10-2. Yeah. So here's my thing. In all honesty, 10-2 should have been. It should have been 10-2. Losing to Tech,
Losing to Bama.
losing to Tech and Bama is a result of not having Quinn. And I say that fully regarding how the rest of the season played out, where Quinn didn't have an amazing season. But the first half of the season, Quinn was playing pretty great. And so
Yeah.
the way he was playing against Bama, a 1-point loss, yes, I think if our starter plays the whole game, we score 2 more points. Yeah, I believe that fully. Against Tech, we lose it overtime. Bijan fumbled in overtime. I mean, Bijan fumbled. Come on. With our starter, we don't take that game into overtime. And we were winning by 14 points in the second half, and we blew it. Oklahoma State was the same way. Like, honestly, we had an undefeated season, like, within grasp. You lose to Bama by 1. You lose to Tech while you're winning by 14. You lose to Oklahoma State while you're winning by 14 in the second half. And then you lose to TCU in a game that your offense just dies, and you score
Yeah,
3 points.
Bijan only had 29 yards on that one. That hurt.
Right.
But I mean, that's another one of those things. TCU's defense is really good. Not
They
taking
game
that away
plan.
from them.
They executed perfectly. I mean,
Yep.
I would love to take it away from them, but I can't. Like, you
Same.
can't. I
No,
would
their
love
defense
to.
is
There's
crazy
no
good,
part of
and
me that wants.
they are so well coached by Sonny Dykes and the staff.
Yeah.
I don't know all their coordinators' names. I can't tell you one of them. Besides Sonny Dykes, the way that he can just flip a switch like that, compared to how Gary Patterson ended up last year, getting fired
Yeah.
in the middle of the season, is beyond me. Like,
And they're looking
top
at
to him.
getting 2 really good receivers in the portal right
Yep.
now. Right now, they're looking at JoJo Earl and Chris
And
Marshall.
Chris Marshall.
That's talent that TCU shouldn't be like. I'm starting to feel like, oh, Texas and Oklahoma leaves. TCU might run the Big 12, and I don't like that. I don't like
I
that
don't
at
either.
all.
You not see what flag is behind me? What I got on my chest? I am
I
not
know
for
it.
that.
I know it.
Not for it.
Well, I know that one thing is if they don't get those players, I think they're going to lose a lot of value on their roster to the draft. And they're still a team that's in the playoffs, so we haven't even seen the mass exodus of who's going to hit the portal on their team. So
Yeah.
you never know what can happen in an offseason, and their offseason hasn't started yet. So you got anything else to add on this, man?
Not that I can think of.
Well,
No. Besides, I have no idea what I'm talking about. So there's that.
what do you mean?
Nothing.
Oh, yeah, neither one of us did. Hopefully having, a year of following all the teams a little bit more. Hopefully next season we have much better predictions for y'all. With that being said, first things first rule of watching us, don't bet money on anything we say. Uh, don't bet the money.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, on Lone Star Locks, Logan's got pretty good bets. He's positive at least. I
Yeah.
am nowhere close. So don't bet money on what I say. Listen to Logan for the locks. But if y'all made it this far, we really do appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all check us out. Where's it at? On TikTok, Twitter, and Facebook at Lone Star CFB. And there's a phone number down at the bottom. It's been scrolling around for the whole video. Give him a call. See what Casey can do for you. With that being said, we appreciate y'all rocking with us. Over.